Good evening, I'm John Hambrick. Up next on Channel 6 Action News, March comes in like a lion in South Florida. We have action team coverage, including a near tragedy for some local Boy Scouts. And how did the wind and rain affect this year's paseo? Channel 6 Action News is next.
It's true, more older and wiser people shop at Publix.
That's right.
Because you don't get older being foolish.
I wasn't born yesterday, honey, and I know good produce when I see it. Nobody's going to tell me different. That's why I shop at Publix.
The best produce, the best service, and the best values. Compare our price on farm fresh asparagus, just $1.59 a pound. Get it all together.
I'll buy that.
With Publix.
When someone needs a helping hand, don't let arthritis pain get in the way.
Bring this in. You see, this is the way you do French braids.
Take arthritis pain formula.
Now bring this one over here.
It has a maximum dosage of doctor-recommended aspirin. It's medicine made specifically to ease minor arthritis pain for hours.
That's good, girl.
And it has 2 buffers.
You look so beautiful.
Arthritis pain formula. Maximum aspirin. Maximum strength relief.
We're earning our reputation one story at a time. Now, John Hambrick and Giselle Fernandez, Channel 6 Action News.
Bad weather tops South Florida news tonight. These Boy Scouts had a run-in with the wind. They're apt to remember the rest of their lives. And we're still in a tornado watch across South Florida. Good evening, I'm John Hambrick. Giselle is off tonight. Today's foul weather has caused all kinds of problems in both Dade and Broward. Plenty of people who have canvas-covered carports and awnings don't have them anymore because of this afternoon's destructive winds. As for power outages, Florida Power and Light has had about 24,000 problem calls today in Dade, close to 18,000 in Broward. Extra repair crews have been brought in. Lots of flights out of Miami International were delayed due to the weather. Some incoming jetliners were also diverted to other places. We're talking U.S. Air, United, Delta, Northwest, a number of airlines. And oh, yes, the wind and rain forced them to postpone today's Doral Open activities. What's ahead for tonight weather-wise? And as we look toward tomorrow, Maria's got her radar revved up to answer the first question right now. How long is that tornado watch going to stay in effect, Maria?
Well, right now it's issued until 9 o'clock, John, although they could expire it at any time. However, we still have lots of thunderstorm activity around. This is a large area of rain embedded in some very strong thunderstorms. That's what may cause or spawn a tornado. All of this is moving rapidly to the southeast at about 20 miles per hour. As I said, the tornado watch is in effect from Palm Beach all the way down throughout the Keys until 9 o'clock tonight. They do have special marine warnings and warnings and watches also in effect until 9 o'clock tonight. All of this will be moving out later on this evening. After midnight, we should be finished with the rain, but until 9 o'clock, there is that potential, so we'll have to keep our eye on it. I will have tomorrow's forecast for you, though, coming up in a few minutes. John.
Okay, Maria, we'll see you shortly. We knew the high winds were coming. Forecasters, frankly, were right on the money, but still, a lot of people were thrown by the intensity of these gusts. Case in point, the capsized canoes of some local Boy Scouts who couldn't be prepared for what happened. Our stormy Sunday action team coverage continues now with reporter Jackie Bales.
Hey, what happened?
But before long, not many Scouts were laughing. What started as a 5-mile canoe race for boys aged 11 to 18 ended in near disaster.
My boat, it tipped over and we went under the dock. I got stuck under the dock and they had to pull me out on there. Look at this guy, bro. And when they were pulling me up onto the boat, right, I got stuck under the boat.
How scary was it?
It was pretty scary. It was too rough today. I flipped twice and we had to go under a dock. We got stuck under a dock.
The race got underway just after 10 o'clock, starting right at this bridge behind me. The boys had trouble as soon as they got in the water, and by the time they got 200 yards down the intracoastal, many of them were already in the water.
The kids were capsizing all over the place. They were holding on to barnacles on the side. Their life vests were coming off. They didn't belong out there at all. It really wasn't safe for them today.
Metro Dade fire rescue personnel pulled several scouts to safety and say tonight it was absolutely foolish for troop leaders to allow the race to continue. This assistant troop leader says his own canoe flipped over at least 3 times and says it was tough enough for adults, let alone young children.
How dangerous do you think this was today?
Very dangerous for the weather condition of the water. It wasn't a good day to go out there today at all.
The only good thing about it was no one was injured. In Indian Creek, Jackie Bales, Channel 6 Action News.
The heavy winds also came at a bad time for boaters, including some who braved the high seas to show their support and say thanks to our troops in the Gulf. Channel 6 Action News reporter Cliff Caldwell rode along with those folks. Cliff, not exactly, as I say, a great day to go boating at all.
Not at all, John, but as one person put it, today's effort with the flotilla was a piece of cake compared to what those troops overseas had to endure. Although the waters were rough enough to cause more than one boat to call it quits and head to shore. High winds whipped up waves and battered the boats, which bobbed like corks in the choppy waters of Biscayne Bay. But the hardy sailors pushed on. After all, this flotilla already fought and won one battle to get insurance. They finally got that taken care of through the Classic and Antique Boat Association about a week and a half ago, letting them hit the water today.
We were expecting about somewhere between 40 and 50 boats, but with the weather being the way it is, I think we had about 20, maybe 25 boats.
Earlier on, the waters were quite rough. A few ships had to drop out. But as one person put it, this is nothing compared to what our troops had to go through overseas. But the rough waters calmed as the vessels entered the final leg through the government cut. It gave everyone a chance to reflect on the meaning of putting on the flotilla, a tribute to the troops who served and even died, fighting against the tyranny of the invading Iraqi troops.
In the bay, it was pretty rough. We got all wet out here, but it's worth it.
I'm glad everything is over so we can have, the people who were fighting for our country, back.
If today's effort is any indication, troops coming home from the Gulf can certainly expect a hero's welcome, and that's a big change from what battle-weary troops faced when they returned from Vietnam. John?
Okay, Cliff, thank you very much. With the liberation of Kuwait behind them, the troops are eager to start heading home. Allied troops all over. Many of the soldiers say they're definitely breathing easier, and now that the job is done, they are taking time out for a little R&R. During the final hours of the ground war, this group of Tampa Bay Marines was assigned to clear bunkers on a back road near Kuwait City. They say that they've never been as scared or prayed as hard. Now they're anxiously awaiting word they'll soon be on their way home.
Tired of dirt and sand. I'm ready to see some green Florida.
The troops say that they were surprised, frankly, the Iraqis hightailed it out of Kuwait, that in the end, it seems, Saddam's soldiers simply lacked the will to fight. Even though victory has been declared in the Gulf War, it continues to take its toll on both the people of Israel and Israel's economy. Today, more than 600 volunteers from Miami's Jewish community are doing something to help. This is Super Sunday, and volunteers are spending the day calling thousands of Jewish households all over Dade County. They expect to raise more than $1 million. The Miami Jewish Federation's year-long goal is $14 million, and that money will go to help several social agencies and thousands of people. Organizers say Super Sunday is especially important this year.
Important every year, but I think what's happened recently in the Middle East has just served to remind people as to how critical the needs are in Israel and in what a dangerous neighborhood the people of Israel live.
The Super Sunday Drive continues until 9 o'clock tonight. So far, they've already raised just a bit more than $1 million. Coming up on Channel 6 Action News, the wind wasn't the only problem in South Florida today, not by a long shot. We'll show you what was behind this huge traffic tie-up. Big problems for the pilot of a small plane in Broward, and speaking out for those that cannot speak for themselves.
How many animals did you kill today? 16.
You can save up to 50% with generic drugs at Walgreens. Ask your Walgreens pharmacist if there is a generic for your prescription.
It's savings time at Walgreens. Check out Walgreens' sale price for top quality Scotch video cassettes, just $2.79 each. And save over 30% on selected Gold Seal vitamins. 100 vitamin C tablets are just $1.99, and vitamin E capsules only $2.99. Think spring with these and other sunny values through Saturday at Walgreens.
Kids, they really are different these days. A kid these days can be popular without being good looking. He doesn't have to be some big athlete to have a lot of dates. He doesn't need the greatest personality in the world. He can even get good grades without being smart or working hard. Because these days, some kids think all they need is cocaine. Charter Hospital of Miami, for kids and parents who've reached the end of the line with cocaine and crack.
A four-car crash on a busy Miami highway took one life today and caused a long, long afternoon for many a motorist. The tie-up where the Dolphin Expressway meets I-95 couldn't have come at a worse time, right at the height of this afternoon's Paseo traffic. Troopers diverted cars off the highway so emergency crews and a homicide unit could get through. Traffic, we understand, is still a mess eastbound on 836 in that area. Switch now to Fort Lauderdale Executive Airport, where a Broward pilot kept a cool head and managed to land his broken plane without anybody getting hurt. This was the scene after the twin-engine Piper came to a halt without its left landing gear and with its right nose stuck down. About $6,000 in damage was done, according to the plane's owner, who hopes to have this plane flying by tomorrow. A little farther north, about 100 people turned out today to protest a major cosmetics trade association and its pro-animal testing policy. Members of PETA showed up today outside the Boca Raton Hotel, where industry representatives were holding their annual convention. The animal rights group says that many companies are blinding and poisoning animals with testing the safety of their products, and that needs to stop. A spokesman for the trade association.
For us unnecessarily is worse than unnecessary. It's very cruel and unjustifiable.
As I started to say, a spokesman for the trade association says that the new products require animal testing, but only when safety to humans is in question. Still ahead on Channel 6 Action News, not one, not two, but three lucky lotto winners. We'll show you where those tickets were sold, and Maria will sell us a better forecast, hopefully.
Yeah, I think you'll be pleased with it. Here's the culprit right here. I'll tell you where it's going and when it will be gone next.
With no down payment, Cadillac Smart Lease is very smart indeed. Because now you can drive a sedan DeVille for just $499 a month for 36 months with no down payment. And with impressive highway mileage, an EPA estimated 26 miles per gallon highway, sedan DeVille makes your investment go even farther. No down payment and special terms. Another reason why the smart money is traveling Cadillac style. See your Cadillac dealers of Florida, the luxury leaders.
Last year, 60,000 businesses in America failed. At NCNB, we believe the growth of our country still hinges on the growth of our country's businesses. That's why this year we'll provide over $5 billion in loans for everything from small businesses to large corporations. After all, we didn't get to be the nation's 7th largest banking company without making the nation's business our business.
So how many cars does Mercedes test crash every year?
Oh, I say about 100. You can never learn enough. Ever since we had it patented, we have been improving this concept of the energy-absorbing car body.
But other companies use the concept.
We have never enforced the patent.
So Mercedes gave away a basic safety advance for free?
There are some things in life that are too important not to share.
For at least three people, last night's $15 million lotto drawing was a dream come true. That obviously is because we're talking about the three people who won. The three winning tickets were sold in Clearwater, Jacksonville, and Port Salerno. This coming week's lotto will be an estimated $7 million.
Measly.
Ha, I wouldn't turn it down, would
Neither
you?
would I. No. Much more than I've ever seen. What a day. We were
It has been just a ferocious day.
Yeah.
Truly
Winds gusting between 50 and 60 miles per hour. In West Palm Beach, 66. That's what they clocked. 66 miles per hour. Then all of the rain came in. What's wrong? My microphone fell off? Okay.
Take mine. Be my guest.
Well, I don't know. You'd have to walk over there with me. So hold on just 1 second.
But please don't drop it, Maria.
See, I told you, it was one of those days today, one of those very days. 75 right now in Miami. It is very humid outside. Beach is not coming in with any reading right now. Kendall is 72, Key West 74. Surf temperature right now is not available. Winds out of the southwest at 16 miles an hour. Look at the humidity. It is high. You can feel it when you walk outside, and pressure is on the rise. Let's start off taking a look at radar. Still lots of rain around. Embedded in this massive rain are some very strong thunderstorms. We have a tornado watch in effect until 9 o'clock tonight. That's from West Palm Beach south throughout the Keys. A watch means the potential exists. Conditions are favorable for a tornado to form, so we have to keep our eyes open. Some of these strong thunderstorms could spawn it. All of this is moving down to the southeast at about 20 miles an hour. Take a look right now at the computer and see where the front is. Here was the leading edge. We are now heading into the back side of this frontal system. Behind it, clear skies, but we're not going to get into that until about after midnight. Take an overall view. This is how we looked at about midnight last night. Put it all in motion for you. Here's where the low pressure system is, and trailing from it is this cold front. This is what's expected to happen over the next 24 hours. This low will continue to move up to the northeast. It should pass by us, as I said, by midnight tonight. Then we get into high pressure. That's the good news. Clear skies, cooler temperatures tomorrow, highs only topping off in about the lower to mid-70s, and that will hang around. This weather system will remain stationary until later on during this next week. On Friday, we're expecting to see this next system pull down a little bit of moisture. Here's my forecast for tonight. I'm calling for some thunderstorms, clearing though, probably after midnight, 60 to 65. For tomorrow, quite a difference. Mostly sunny, breezy, and cooler. Highs between 72 and 76. If you're boating tomorrow, winds will be out of the west at about 20 knots. Seas 6 to 9 feet. Rough conditions still out on the bay because the winds will be gusting. High about 10:21, low tide at 4:26. Next 5 days, as I said, we're going to remain dry until we get into about Thursday and Friday. Then that next system will probably bring down a little bit of moisture, and temperatures will continue to climb right on through the week. So tomorrow is looking like a much better day than it was today. Quite a bit of damage. Quite a few people quite worried about this weather.
I spent a lot of my time inside.
You were bowling today?
Yeah, I was bowling at the 8th Annual Paralyzed Veterans Association Bowl-a-thon up in Tamarack. And I just got word a while ago that the WCIX team, which was headed by me, came in 4th among a field of 35. But not by virtue of my bowling. I could have won the prize for the worst bowler in the place, including the little children.
Really?
Who were just standing around watching. It was embarrassing, Maria. I guarantee by the time I go and do that again next year, I'm going to get some practice. You got to go with me. You got to go up there with me.
Next year I'll do that.
All right, let's
Definitely
do that. Wonderful. Okay, still to come on Channel 6 Action News. Here is what it sounded like before it rained on their parade. A front row seat at Paseo is coming your way after Steve Shapiro takes us to a wet and windy Doral, huh?
You're not kidding there. We had play suspended during the final round of the Doral. Be back with the tournament director. We'll finish fix. This is a mess out here. We'll be back.
It's Winn-Dixie's half-price sale. Hills Brothers coffee was $1.48, now half price for 74 cents. Keebler Ripplin's potato chips were $1.43, now 71 cents. Lowell's coleslaw was 68 cents, now half price for 34 cents. And Wise Buy fresh fryer breasts are half price at $1.06 a pound. That's right, Winn-Dixie has cut prices in half on items store-wide. You won't believe the savings at the half-price sale going on now at Winn-Dixie. Low prices nobody can beat. Nobody.
When it was introduced in 1986, it became a legend in its own time. Now, for 1991, there's a totally new Acura Legend. It's faster than a BMW 735, bigger than a Mercedes 300, about $10,000 less than a Lexus. It's the only import with a passenger side airbag. And with a new 200 horsepower engine, it's become a legend in even better time.
Steve Shapiro joins us now with sports from a soggy Doral.
Oh, we're in a tent here, John. It's pouring raining behind me. Like we said before the commercial, they had to suspend play with 22 golfers still on the course. They will resume again tomorrow morning. Rain started about 4 o'clock. Take a look at this. These are the flags hovering just above the 18th green. They say that the wind was blowing as much as 50 miles per hour. Golfers and the people have to scurry off the course and run for some cover. Good crowd they had here today as well. Too bad. You know who made out, though? The bars. Everybody came inside. The decision to suspend until tomorrow morning, that came around 5:30 this afternoon. So here's the way it's going to look heading into the remainder of play tomorrow. Andy Bean and Russ Conklin are the co-leaders at 11 under par. They've played 9 holes. Right behind them, Curtis Strange, who was 300 today, is at -10 through 12. Nicholas and Mediate at -9 and they've played 13 and 10 holes respectively. Joining us now live is, I know your name, Tony Burns. I'm just soaking wet, the rain coming in here now. Tournament co-director. What happens now tomorrow, Tony?
Well, they'll resume play at 9 a.m. in the morning, and I also want to mention that everyone that bought a ticket sometime during the week can use that ticket and come over and watch the very best golfers in the field of golf right now. They tee up tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. We understand it's going to be sunny and clear.
And what, yeah, right. And what, they go right back out and they resume from right where the ball lay when they took everybody up the course?
Yes, that's right. Every ball was marked by a PGA official, and they'll be back out there at exactly the same spot.
Okay, Tony, good luck tomorrow. Hope we get those crowds coming back. Listen to this.
Nice day.
This is unbelievable here. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll tell you about the Heat, where they have a chance to break their own team record, and tornado watches in Palm Beach for the Grand Prix race up there. It was a mess all over the state. We'll be right back.
The world's largest indoor flea market at the Miami Beach Convention Center starts next Tuesday with shopping fun for everyone. Now expanded to over 1,000 selling booths featuring all new and exciting merchandise. A world marketplace where everyone speaks the same language. Low prices, plus many special attractions and international foods. The world's largest indoor flea market at the Miami Beach Convention Center. It's more than a flea market, it's a phenomenon.
Did you ever notice that most truck sales seem like a really big deal? Until you get up close. But Isuzu looks great from any angle. Like now during Isuzu's really big sale. You could actually save up to $2,000 on a versatile Trooper. Or up to $1,500 on one of these rugged pickups. Thanks to factory-to-dealer incentives. So come in now for some really big savings.
You could save up to $2,000 during Isuzu's really big sale.
I told you we were serious.
All right, we're back at a soggy Doral Country Club. The Heat, they beat Dallas last night, 18 wins for Miami. That matches their all-time high, and they still have 25 games left to play. All right, highlights from last night. Heat playing in the road black unis. Rice, the Frito Bandito, to Burton, and Burton to Long. He had 22 points, Grant Long. The steal by Rice. Rice had 22, gets the jammy. Dallas coach, he wants a TO, a timeout. The Heat were up 19 in the third quarter. Here's Douglas, he had 25, he's got enough. Gives it back to Long. The Heat wins 109-103. They're at home Tuesday against the Clippers. Bad news for Dallas. This afternoon, NBA, two of the top teams in the league, Portland at Boston. Portland comes in on a 4-game losing streak. Take a look at the highlights. Bird resting his back, and Drexler backs into him, kicks him into the chairs. Celtics in white, D. Brown to Bird. Bird pirouettes a couple of times. He's outside for 3. Boston led by 11 points, third quarter. Back comes Portland. Drexler with the slam. Drexler again, right over Bird this time on a 16-2 run, Portland. Cliff Robinson drives baseline. Portland wins 116-107. Let's take a look at the scoreboard now. I'm having zero fun out here. Utah beat Philadelphia. San Antonio big over Washington. Atlanta 115-106. Houston, surprise winner over the Lakers. The Lakers were at home. In college baseball, Miami losing to Tulane 3-1, still playing 6th inning. FIU killed Boston University 19-4. As we mentioned earlier, a tornado watch at the Grand Prix race in West Palm Beach. Again, let's go to West Palm Beach and take a look at the flags blowing at West Palm. Brutal all over the state. I don't know if it had anything to do with this little spin out here by Bardanon. Spins out a couple of times, a couple of 360s. Better call Mako, he's out of the race. Inside the car of David Tennyson. These guys averaging 93, 94. The number 2 car, Davy Jones, on to take the flag. Jones led start to finish. Davy Jones wins the Grand Prix West Palm Beach. Wayne Taylor is second. The Miami Grand Prix, by the way, is the first week in April. Kyle Petty, he wins the Grand National race at Rockingham, North Carolina. McEnroe versus McEnroe, brother versus brother today in the finals of the Volvo Tennis Tournament in Chicago. John on the right versus Patrick on the left. Only the second time they've played. Patrick wins the first set. Here in the second, Patrick near court. He gets blasted by John. John puts away the winner. John won the second set. This is match point for John. John McEnroe beats his brother Patrick. There's the father. John beats Patrick. The final scores 3-6, 6-2, and 6-4. The start of the Kentucky Derby prep races were today. Let's go to Louisiana for the Louisiana Derby.
In third. Now as they move into the final 16th of a mile, Pat Day asks Richmond for a little more speed, and he gets it. The favorite draws clear by 2 with
man wins the race, the Florida Derby on March 16th. Listen to this rain out here. They're going to play again tomorrow. It's pouring, raining. They'll play again tomorrow, and play resumes at 9 o'clock. Lots more on the Action Sports page at 11:30, a special 30-minute edition, a special on Doral, and we'll tell you what's going on. I got to get out of here. We'll see you later.
You'll be back in the studio for that one, right?
I
Steve?
hope so.
Zero fun. Well, nobody promised you a rose garden. Anyway, thanks, Steve. Neither the gusting wind nor the pouring rain was enough to stop Paseo, though, the high-energy parade that swept through the streets of Little Havana today. It is, of course, the latest event in Carnival, Miami, and Channel 6 Action News reporter Jackie Bales was there.
Salsa took over the streets of Little Havana today as the parade known as Paseo kept Carnival Miami moving to the beat.
It's a very sensational feeling to be dancing in front of all this crowd, in front of TV. I really feel happy because I love dancing.
Groups came from all over Latin America and the Caribbean to join in the entertainment, like the lady from Trinidad wearing the 90-pound hat.
The Paseo tradition started back in 1982 as just a small street festival, a part of Carnival Miami. Now, over 200,000 people are here watching the festivities.
Oh my goodness.
The parade didn't get underway until 2 o'clock, but many came hours earlier just to be sure of a good seat.
When did you get here to get these
10
seats?
o'clock in the morning.
And was it worth the wait?
Yes, yes. And oh, very good, very. I'm having such a good time.
A real high point, the limbo, taken to unbelievable lows. And in case you missed all the fun, well, don't worry. It starts all over again with Calle Ocho next weekend. In Little Havana, Jackie Bales, Channel 6 Action News.
Thank you for having us in for news. I'm John Hambrick. 60 Minutes is next. We'll be back tonight at 11. We leave you now with Dancing in the Streets and a bit more from Paseo.